Well, everyone, this is it, you guys, because today is another throwback on this channel. For this week today, we're going to go back to Windows 7. I know I did in the last time, but I remember I did this in the last couple of days, but now it's time for me to do it again, but this time on this channel. Now, I would like to introduce a few things to discover today. What you may recognize is about the things on the side, so you're going to see what's going to happen. So you've seen it many times before, but now what's going to happen is the big improvement. Anyways, now I would like to introduce new programs in the meantime. So some may recognize about the releases. Let me just download these two. I'll put them in for access. So, what do you say we're gonna get prepared, right? Well then, here we go. Let's start the celebration. Anyway, I'll be booting in testing mode. Since we're in testing mode, you may recognize why. It's testing mode. Yeah, that's right. Testing mode. And you may recognize this load up process setup. You remember this, right? You recognize this pre-assessment time. Would you look at that? Stall. This is the late Windows 7 installation process. I'm planning to do Windows Vista or Windows XP, but somehow it may fail depending on the version. Do a custom installation and we want to do a 50 gigabyte drive. And when you're ready, we're going to go and prepare the installation files. And as you may recognize about the thing, as you can see, I enabled the 3D acceleration, so you can have 3D acceleration on. So yeah. Once again, if you want to restart, you can wait until, or just wait for the timer. Just to, I don't care about it. And much as before, it's just like the same, like in OEM keys, like in most manufacturers, like this one, like the Dell or HP or anything. So you see what that costs me to you. So it's just gonna say it says Windows 7 Ultimate. So as you may recognize, it's just gonna say anything. So it's just not gonna say anything. So I'll just name it user for this one. So we'll just say user, and I can name it anything like. So I'm just gonna say fourth Andy testing. And I don't need a password for this, so let's select next. And I'm going to skip this one. And if you like, I'm going to use the recommended settings for this one and click on next. And so you guys recognize it's much similar to Windows Vista, which I confirm it's kind of been one of the worst operating systems, but Home Network is the best because Windows Vista might be similarity or similar to the worst OS, so you may recognize why. As you can see, it says welcome. It would take us to the desktop in a few seconds, so it should take a minute. And when you're there, it should bring you to the desktop. But however, I just want to give a few details out of the way, like installing some drivers and things like that. So at the meantime, we can go ahead and install some drivers. So um, as a matter of fact, we'll just install drivers. As you can see, minus the AMD64. So yeah, go ahead and install drivers. As you can see, it says Service Pack 1. So Service Pack 1 is the one I installed. So it's a Service Pack 1, by the way, Service Pack 1. So as you see in the website, it says Oracle VirtualBox Guest Edition 7.2.4 setup. So you see at the wild minute. And so it has the old Internet Explorer, which we'll deal with in a minute later. This is to like adjust the layer in the window. And we're done, click on finish. And then we'll reboot our VM. It will take a while, so we're not taking a minute in hesitation. Now, the boot up time might be a little bit different than the other one. So, this is compared to the other one that I did earlier. So, you're going to see it in a minute. And when we're back in here, you may recognize there's a startup sound. So it will kind of wait, but it's just outside. Sometimes the arrow glass may not function correctly. So um, we're going to go to view and just let's power assess the guest display. As you see, there we go. Let's see if we have arrow. Show me. Show me if we have arrow.
Okay, so you guys recognize what the things you can see. It's just all stuff right here. But at the meantime, we just see, let's just rate this computer. So I'm going to rate it. So it should take a minute. It's just gonna it'll just take a while. So it will not take any bit of longer. So in the meantime, we can take a look around the start menu. As you can see, it has solitaire. Um, Let me get it started. So here's what the game start looks like. So let's see how it looks like in Windows 7 Basic. It looks like in Windows 7 Basic, except Windows 7 Starter. So I'll do Windows 7 Starter in the next time. So yeah, so that's just. And here's the rating of this. Wow, they're a 2.0. And we can see we have 83 days until on-ranked activation. Activate Windows now. So it's almost, I think it's time for me to activate, huh? So it says a test. It's in testing mode, so you're gonna see what that means to you. So I'm going to use something to project this. So I might use something like pictures or anything. So you're going to see in the Documents tab. One of these is going to work, so let's try the other ones out. It's like this one. As you can see, just it's working perfectly fine. So at least they didn't change any manufacture time. So at least they did. So here's what it looks like in the control panel. As you see, it tells you everything about picture takings or anything like that. So yeah. And here's what it looks like when you put it into like kinds of slot. And by the way, it looks like this thing right here. It's just like that. So we can project the assessment. In the meantime, I'm going to put this right here. And what you may recognize is about the things on the left and on the right side. You'll see what that is. You see, this is the light blue desktop. These are other stuff. It's just little things like this. However, it's just over the same thing like originality. Now, these are holiday themed wallpapers. And you may recognize about the things on the other side. So you're gonna see what you're gonna see what's going to happen in the Tweaks installer. So here's the Tweaks logon. So you may recognize a boot camper or boot changer. So you'll see what this is. You see here are the lists. I'll just go ahead and do the installation process and see it worked. Go ahead and extract them all, and in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and do that. And as you can see, accept the license agreement and then install the. It should try it. It should do it. This is unlike the other operating systems like Windows 7 or 8 and 8.1. So it will just say user. So you can see saying user. So here are other stuff like these things, like the some you recognize about Dell products, which you recognize the Dell. So these are just little stuff right here, but however we want to just use the pictures tab, not just the dust. So I'm gonna pick that one. Now this is what it looks like when you boot into like a Dell theme background. So I'll show you real quick anything. So you see, you recognize as a Dell. So that's just Dell. Yes, please. The rest of it are just little things on the other side, like the original Windows 7 background. So you're going to see what that is. So we can see blush, violet. So we're going to just use blush. So this is just a heritage. Just that's that. The dark one is not included in this thing. So that's why dark is not on the side. So the dark one does not show it. So this is why dark does not appear on the taskbar. So you see, I'm gonna change this into this like I'm doing it into the better one. So there you go. Now this one is a summer one. But for now, we're focusing on Christmas, as you see in the title. It's Christmas of 2009. So imagine if you're on Christmas break and you're using Windows 7 like 2009 and anything like that. So this is one last celebration. So this is one last celebration. Go and empty it. Thank you. Then we have some gadgets. As you see, these are just gadgets on the other side. So you see, we'll do the same with the other ones as the last time. So you're going to see what the counter looks like in the one I did in the feed of a headline. So we can get pretty nostalgic. So you see, these are just for assessment. So yeah, and we have a you can see some tweaks. We're going to pick one real quick so we can show you. As you see, it has this Windows 7 wallpaper from like, what was it, 2000 or 2009 or anything like that. So yeah, it's just like order dust. So we use this one. So there we go. So we can go ahead and see what the boot up data looks like. As you can see, it's just this sort of thing like that. So we can show you real quick. So you can tell right there, it's just full time. So when we click on load boot scan, no. As you can see, it looks like that. So you can see what it looks. As you can tell, some of the parts of it, so it will just say testing mode. So some of the copyright dates may get changed direct. So it says all time. So it's just a little bit of testing mode. So it's only testing. Now you may see the list through. See? I'll show you what it looks like when we install the product key, but how it will be removed. It's just that. Yeah. Now, here's Windows Loader. It says Windows Loader by the way. It's just that. So we're not going to show you the full activation process in the meantime. So it's going to be blurred. So if it says user, you say user or whatever. Since we're in testing mode, so there's no need to wait. do anything like that. So, and by the way, if you may recognize about the update, it's about the update on the other side. So it's the KB 3102810. So we're not gonna. We'll just see what's happening next when we update it if we do that. So in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and do these, and we'll install these premium setups later. So we'll just do that in the meantime. So we'll deal with installing a product key. So you're gonna see a little bit of. You may see why. And by the way, this one, the Internet Explorer 8. Don't turn it on. It just blah blah blah. I get it. So some of the pages may not work, like my official website. Like when I go to sites google.com/my web page, it may not work, or maybe because of an issue on the drive. You see, it says an issue on the Plus website, and it said there's some problems. Like when it's loaded to our website, it will just say that the real suggestion it may not function correctly because the problem on the thing you see. You see why at the minute because some songs may not work because one of the pages may not function correctly or because some of the apps do not function right. Like when we launched the Countdown Kids website, it said that the page cannot be displayed. And this is because it's too old to display any modern web pages, and it just randomly just crashed my entire VM. So yeah, I can tell. Sometimes the Internet Explorer might be a little bit trash because the Internet Explorer does not work on some of your VMs or something like this. So we experience why. Anyway, so what do you know about the thing on the other side? So this is like the whole Christmassy of what it looked, how it looked like in Windows 7. However, it's just going to say it says starting testing mode of Windows 7. Please wait so you can see what it looks like in testing mode. So you may see at the minute right now, some of them are not functioning correctly. So at the meantime, yeah. Now, as you see in the files list, as you can see, it's just well something in the same music along with this KB. This is what it looks like in the standalone packages. It will just say anything like this thing, like this is Windows 6.1, and yes, go ahead. I recommend you install the updates. So if you do not update this one to like the newer style, so as you see, it says recycle bin and recycle. Let me show you what the properties looks like. So you see, and see it says it's activated. You can see it's in testing mode, so it's in testing. So you can see what it looks like. It says status now available and the product key telling you about the status. And it's telling me I have to restart. And as you may recognize, it's just an O thing. So if you received an update, please update. Please download from Microsoft or anything like that, so you see what I mean. Somehow, some people find it nostalgic, but some may recognize about this nostalgic operating system. So yeah. Anyways, the Internet Explorer might be a little bit kind of a bit rubbish, so we recommend using a browser here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install a browser. This is Supernia. So some browsers like this one, so we can go ahead and download it and hit yes to do that. In the meantime, we can create the shortcuts and install for other users and pressing OK. And when we're done, as you can see, Supernia said it's finally completed successfully. As you can see, it's now on my desktop. I'm going to open it. When we're here, I'm going to choose Don't Sign In. And if I like, I'm going to pick Set as Default to make Suprema's VM virtual machine's default web browser. As you can see, it's already open. And it's looking like Google Chrome. And it has more styles. It's version 138, 64-bit. As you can see, my web page just loads well. So let me show you real quick. As you can see, it definitely loads just well. As you can see on the screen. You can see it says this until next time we have some respective ways. So at least some of the pages works. However, it's just little stuff for here. It's just load time. So yeah. So this is the music we played. So this music was already played at the beginning of the time. So this is part of the summer spring fall events. As you can see, I was able to run YouTube, which it worked well. So YouTube works on Windows 7. So at least there's nothing good. So at least it loads the web page. Now, what about Firefox? Well, Firefox may not function correctly. Like when you open Firefox, you can see it says it said this. Yeah, it said that message. So we have to install something like a browser here. So like this one. But some of the pages may not work. So we'll use the thing. We go down and go to 115. You see that right there? It's just saying that it says right here, it says 31. We're going to click on that. Let's see, it says ESR. As you can see, Firefox is now uploaded. There we'll click on yes, and then we can do that. And once we're done, we can launch Firefox. We just do it on your own. I don't care. And as you can see, Firefox just loaded. So let me show you real quick about the update. You can see it says Firefox 115.31, which is the almost latest version. So you see the latest version of Firefox. Now, let's talk about a few things like Google Chrome. So Google Chrome, Blender, anything like Google Chrome. Which you see. Now, unfortunately, Chrome is no longer supported on this operating system. So if it says that, it's just going to say that, you know, it's just a thing. But if it doesn't work, then I get it. So you may recognize why. As you can see, it's just connecting to the internet. So it's just going to say that it's connected to the internet and it's downloading anything from the site. It will take about 6 to 5 seconds later in the time. As you can see, Google Chrome is now finished. As you can see, it says this. It says, to get future Chrome updates, you need Windows 10 later. This PC is running 7. Let me see what that version was. It's 109. So it's 109 version 120. So it says 109. So this is the version that was on it. And these are just other stuff like this. So yeah. Now, regardless of that, some may not work properly at demand time. So like 1 or 2.79 or anything like that. So yeah. You can see it's just everything else over there. You can see it says Google Chrome, Spam, and other stuff. So we'll just only download a few of them, but we don't want to waste much longer here. So like installing Audacity and other stuff like that, so we don't want to waste some time. So yeah, like let's see here. If we load up YouTube.com, it would just work well. It was just load up YouTube, and when it loads, it will just work fine. As you can see, it works. And we'll go to my website or the program. It will just do it on its own. You can see my webpage loads, and the speakers is just things. As you can see how I made these earlier. In the meantime, you can see these are just all the lists. You can see I've made this one about the story, how I began. I made a video stream of that one. I did a long time ago before the music stopped. So yeah, I did these in a long time before I started making this live stream. So the story of how it began. So I started this back ago. So yeah, and that's the point. Now let's see if my website is still here. And by the way, we can go and install this one so you can see if it's going to try. you can see it tries to work. So at least YouTube did work on me, so that's good. And my website works just fine. So yeah, now we know. Oh, we're almost gonna get over. So as you can see, this is what the note looks like. I made this and I managed to update it like that. So yeah, and thank you to everybody for coming to join our event. So thank you so much once again. Audacity, you may see Audacity worked something very nice with Audacity. So Audacity is the best choice. So its current version is 3.7.7. So um, once again, this is going to be a bit of a short one. So this is because I don't want to waste time. Because I don't waste my time here doing little stuff. So um, yeah. And English, as you see, it's going to try. As you can see, Audacity works, but I don't want to launch it. This is Blender 2.79. Here we have, let's see, oh, this is Blender 2.79, which I usually use. This is the last to use the render and animation. It will take a while because of the thing like that. So as you can see, YouTube Music works at the main time. So YouTube Music just tried to work. So if YouTube Music is the right place, then YouTube Music is the perfect choice. So we get it. So YouTube Music works. And yes. And there's a little thing here. So like I always say, is the assessment time on the oil kind of whatever. Now, in some cases, Windows 7 might be the best OS for you. So to be honest. And when I click on finish, it will just launch the app. So it worked. So VFC works on Windows 7. As you can see, it's just updating the componentization, so you may experience issues on the assessment time. So yeah. And like I said, this is going to be a bit of a short stream because of the thing like that. So because I will be very busy working on another video for onto YouTube to celebrate the anniversary. So yeah, we're celebrating the 4th anniversary. So and anytime we can run. We'll deal with the rest of them later in the meantime. So yeah, it's just because I'll have to work on other stuff like the Arizona last or something. As you can see, Blender is finished. So what you may recognize is about the Blender 2.79, or Blender 2.79, of course, just the last version to support the operating system, which I believe so. Like unlike the other ones, like Windows 8 or Windows 7. So that's what you recognize earlier in the time. So look, oh, Notepad is plus is missing. Yeah, so plus is missing. So I can tell I have a few apps left until everything goes perfectly well. So in the meantime, it looks like we're almost getting close. So I'll show you real quick about things on the other side. So you're gonna see what's the thing on the other side. So in the Windows updates, which I believe Windows Media Player should work. Like when I launch Windows Media Player, it will just show up on me. So it should take a minute when I launch Windows Media Player. So we're gonna do some testing. And as you can see, Notepad Plus will try to work. So we're gonna try that. And some of them may not work because sometimes the ones on the bottom percent the like the Eero glass or something like the Eero glass, by the way. It's just Eero glass. See, was able, as you can see, it worked. By the way, as you see in the updates, you click on that. You click on. Let me show you the Windows DVD Maker. Turn your original memories into the DVD drive. As you can see, I can choose any photos or videos. As you can see, it's just that. So, Windows DVD Maker is just yeah. Moving on to Windows Media or Windows Media Player, by the way. Let's do that. Which you see that the thing is just all the songs are here. Songs are playing pretty much in the meantime, so it's that. And the Windows updates, or no, Windows Media Center, by the way. It's Windows Media Center, not Windows Media Player. It's Windows Media Center. And we'll use the Express as always before, as always. As you can see, just you may see this point, so you're going to see what that means to you. So, yeah. Let me show you when we log off. Here's what it looks like. You can see it says log off. It's going to say log off, logging off, or whatever. As you can see, it says it's still only just one option, just user. And it'll take us to the home screen like I was before, so you see all the list of songs or just anything like that. So playing some music or anything or whatever. Yeah. And this folder here is the Google Chrome app. However, the only thing is you may see at the minute you can see this telling me I have to set as default. As it says to get frequent updates and instruments and speech service. So, anyways, I guess that's it. So that's everything we always do. So once again, thank you so much. And it looks like we're at an hour already, so it's almost time for me to leave since I'm going off already. So, but anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching today's program, and thank you so much for joining me for the final celebration of the. So, in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy. So, in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing evening, and have a great rest of your winter break. In the meantime, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.